Hello, we are discussing about GATE 2014 ECE paper and the topic we are discussing is electronics. An ideal mass capacitor has boron doping concentration of 10 power 15 per centimeter cube in the substrate. When a gate voltage is applied, a depletion region of width 0.5 micrometers is formed with a surface potential of 0.2 volts. Given that epsilon naught is 8.854 into 10 power minus 14 farad per centimeter and the relative permittivities of silicon and silicon dioxide are 12 and 4 respectively, then the peak electric field in volt per micrometer in the oxide region is dash. So we are going to calculate peak electric field in the oxide region. Okay, and the given conditions is nothing but Na, that is boron doping concentration, which is nothing but acceptor concentration. Na is given 10 power 15 per centimeter cube, and Vg is going to be applied, gate voltage. A depletion region is going to be formed whenever Vg is going to be positive. Okay, and the width of depletion region is given as 0.5 micrometers. Okay, with voltage surface potential, as surface potential is nothing but Vs, it is also taken as psi s. Psi s is nothing but 0.2 volts. This is what given information. First of all, we must know what is meant by a mass capacitor. So this is the diagram related to the mass capacitor. A mass capacitor is going to be formed with a metal layer, which is nothing but gate, which act as gate, and oxide layer, and below that one p-type substrate. So this is a p-type substrate acting as one plate. This is first plate, and metal is going to be acting as second plate. In between SiO2 layer act as dielectric. Okay, so this going to be acts as parallel plate capacitor. Structure. So this parallel plate capacitor structure is going to be treated as mass capacitor, metal oxide semiconductor. In that one, metal and semiconductor act as two plates, oxide is acting as dielectric. Okay, so now depletion layer is going to be formed whenever we apply Vg is going to be small positive voltage. So let us assume small positive voltage you are applying. Small positive voltage whenever we apply on the gate side, that is nothing but for the metal, if you apply small positive voltage, it can attract a small number of negative charges. From the p-type substrate. In p-type substrate, small number of negative charge carriers. Negative charge carriers in p-type substrate is nothing but electrons, which are minority carriers. Remember that one. Minority carriers in the p-type substrate are nothing but electrons, which are negative charge carriers, which will be attracted towards silicon dioxide layer. Since we are applying a small positive voltage, a small number of electrons are attracted, but already holes are going to be present. This is of p-type substrate, so holes are majority charge carriers, and these electrons will recombine near the holes present over here. So the electron is going to be recombining with hole. So electron hole recombinations takes place. Whenever electron hole recombinations are taking place, at that time in p-type substrate there is a negative ion will be created. So you will get a depletion region. Okay, you will get a depletion region with consisting of negative ions. So if you apply a small positive voltage, by the time what you are going to get is nothing but negative ions. You will get negative ions in the p-type substrate, which is going to be called as depletion region, and the depth of depletion region or width of depletion region is going to be Wd, and whose value is given, that is 0.5 micrometers. And below that one, if you observe, it is p-type substrate, it is nothing but neutral. Every semiconductor, whether it is p-type or n-type, are intrinsic. that is neutral in nature. Every semiconductor is neutral. Wherever the charge carriers, that is nothing but negative ions, are present at that time, that is going to be called as, okay, it is having charge, so it is not neutral. Below that one, p-type substrate is having, that p-type substrate is neutral. So if you apply gate voltage, that is going to be dropped across oxide VOX, and that is dropping across p-type substrate, which is nothing but VSI. So we can write the gate voltage is going to be dropping across oxide plus silicon. Okay, in this one, silicon is nothing but, here it is silicon substrate. In that one we are getting two different cases. One is nothing but p-type substrate, which is neutral, so there is no voltage, and above that one depletion region. So we can say that one VOX is nothing but voltage drop in the oxide region. V silicon is nothing but voltage drop across the depletion region. V silicon, okay, I'll write like this. V silicon is nothing but voltage drop in silicon region. In silicon region is nothing but, in silicon, p-type substrate, silicon consisting of depletion region and p-type substrate region, but p-type substrate region is neutral, so that we can say it as, okay, in silicon. Instead of silicon we can write it as depletion region or depletion layer. Depletion region I am writing. So voltage drop in the depletion region is nothing but V silicon, and this is sometimes called as, okay, this is sometimes called as surface potential. In this case, surface potential is nothing but whatever the potential is at the surface, silicon dioxide surface. This is what we are going with. It is silicon dioxide surface. Silicon dioxide surface. At this point, how much is the voltage from this point to ground is nothing but 0.2 volts. So that this VSI what was given is also treated as surface potential, which is nothing but 0.2 volts. In case of small positive voltage when you apply across gate. Okay. So this surface potential can be calculated. Okay, the surface potential can be calculated using VSI, which is also treated as psi SI, that is voltage. Okay, that can be calculated using Q times of Na divided by 2 epsilon into WD square, which is the voltage across depletion region. Okay, which is going to be same as the diode voltage under reverse bias. And next, so if you want to draw the electric field, we are going to calculate peak electric field in the oxide region. So first of all, how the electric field is going to be looks like, how this is going to be, how the diagram is going to be looks like. This is what the depletion region. Now the same previous diagram we are going with depletion in horizontal view of point. This is VG, which is nothing but VG. Whatever you are applying vertically, that is what here we have taken it as horizontally. This is ground, so this is ground. In between you are getting metal, silicon dioxide, substrate, but in the substrate you are getting depletion region. This depletion region is nothing but from 0 to WD. This is width of depletion region, it was given, and VSI, the voltage drop in the depletion region, because it is neutral. So that VSI is going to be given as 0.2 volts, WD is given as 0.5 micrometers. We will see how to draw the electric field. Okay, if you want to see the how to draw electric field, okay, first we should consider, we are considering it is given that one ideal mass capacitor. Ideal mass capacitor which has zero charge within the oxide layer. Ideal mass capacitor, the characteristic of ideal mass capacitor is nothing but it doesn't have any charges within the oxide layer. Okay, whenever there is no charges in the within the oxide layer, at that time the electric field within the oxide is treated as constant. So electric field in the oxide region is going to be treated as constant for ideal mass capacitor. Ideal mass capacitor. For ideal mass capacitor, there will be no charge Okay, that is zero charge within the oxide layer, so that electric field within the oxide is going to be treated as constant. So oxide electric field is constant. Next, how the electric field is going to be looks like in the depletion region. Okay, if you are observing a p-type semiconductor, a p-n junction, okay, in that one also we can say that one this is p side and it is n side with depletion region. Depletion region consisting of negative ions on p side depletion region and positive ions on n side depletion region. Let us assume they are uniformly doped. Whenever they are uniformly doped, at that time rho v is going to be treated as constant. Okay, so from Poisson's equations we can say that one d square v by dx square is equal to minus rho v by epsilon, and this is going to be for uniformly doped, it is going to be treated as constant. So d square v by dx square is constant whenever the p side and n side are uniformly doped. And if you want to calculate electric field is going to be E is equal to minus dv by dx. Minus dv by dx is nothing but simply it is integral of rho v by epsilon. So integration of rho v, okay, that is going to be giving constant integration is nothing but something multiplied by the distance with respect to dx we are going with. So that rho v by epsilon into x you will get. So electric field varies with distance, that is electric field varies linearly with distance. Are you getting it? If the p side or n side are going to be uniformly doped, by that time electric field varies linearly with respect to distance, and that too the electric field is maximum at the junction. The electric field is maximum at the junction and electric field will become zero in the neutral region. Okay, so this can be written in this way. So here also we will assume that one depletion region, and this is p-type silicon, and this p-type silicon is nothing but it is uniformly doped. If you assume this p-type silicon is uniformly doped, at that time electric field in this one neutral region, electric field in the neutral region is zero, and in the electric field it is decreasing linearly. Like this you will get towards this point. Electric field varies linearly with distance. Okay, now we are going with horizontal scale, so that x is nothing but in this way. So this is the actual diagram corresponding to electric fields in both. So look at this diagram. In the oxide region, that is nothing but this is oxide region. In oxide region, because of ideal mass capacitor, the value of electric field is constant as there is no charge present in the oxide region. And in the depletion region, the electric field is going to be varies linearly with distance, and electric field is maximum at the junction, that is this point, it is maximum, and the value of electric field reduces as it is moving in the distance, as you are moving right side, and it will become zero at the end of depletion region, that is in the p-type silicon electric field is zero because it is neutral. So that electric field is maximum, ESI is maximum at this point. How to calculate EOX? What we are going to calculate is nothing but in the question we are asked to calculate EOX, peak electric field present in the oxide region. Okay. So if you observe this diagram, if you observe, this is what we have seen is nothing but mass capacitor diagram. In the mass capacitor diagram, if you observe, whenever you are applying positive voltage, at that time electric flux lines are going to be moving in this direction. Always electric flux lines will move from more positive voltage to less positive voltage. So these are the electric flux lines are going to be taking place. So if you observe the flux lines at this silicon dioxide interface, silicon dioxide interface, exactly at this interface, okay, flux line just above that one, that is in the oxide region, and just below this one, that is near the interface, are going to be same. Okay, since the flux lines are continuous across the oxide silicon interface, we can write this equation. Okay, flux lines in oxide layer can be written as epsilon oxide into E silicon, that is electric field in oxide layer. Okay, electric field in oxide layer. So epsilon oxide into EOX is equal to, in the silicon interface, epsilon silicon into ESiO2, ESi, electric field of silicon, but it is maximum we should consider because at the interface only we are calculating. So at the interface, at the silicon and silicon dioxide interface, the flux lines are continuous, so that we can write exactly at that interface flux lines are same. So EOX into electric field of oxide, permittivity and product multiplying with electric field in case of oxide and in case of silicon, both are going to be same only at that interface. So that here we are going with ESi of maximum. Epsilon permittivity of oxide is given, permittivity of silicon is given. Permittivity of oxide can be written as epsilon of SiO2 into EOX, which is nothing but epsilon naught into epsilon R of silicon into ESi maximum. So epsilon naught get cancels. What you will get is this equation. From this one, EOX is equal to epsilon R of silicon into epsilon silicon maximum, that is electric field maximum in silicon, divided by epsilon R of SiO2. Okay, so oxide electric field in the oxide layer can be calculated if you know electric field in silicon, the maximum value of electric field in silicon. So how to calculate maximum electric field in silicon? Okay, we know that one VSI, voltage across silicon dioxide layer, is given as 0.2 volts. VSI, voltage of silicon, voltage across silicon, is given as surface potential, which is given as 0.2 volts. We know that one voltage can be calculated, the integral of electric field, so ESI into dx. Okay, ESI of integration, which implies nothing but simply area under ESI. Area under ESI is nothing but, this is what the electric field curve, and we are going with area under this one is nothing but this is the area under that ESI. Okay, ESI of X, area under that one. So is it looks like a triangular shape or not? So the area is going to looks like triangular shape, so that we can go for the half into width into height, that is the area of triangle. So V silicon is nothing but 0.2 volts, which is nothing but half times of, okay, height is nothing but E silicon of maximum, and width is nothing but WD. So from this one we can calculate E silicon maximum is equal to 2 times of VSI divided by WD. 2 times of VSI is nothing but 2 into 0.2 divided by 0.5 micrometer, which is nothing but 0.4 by 0.5, which is 0.8. You will get it as 0.8 volt per micrometers. So from this equation, EOX is going to be, EOX can be calculated as epsilon R of silicon, it was given as 12 into 0.8 volt per micrometer divided by 4 it was given. Okay, it was given as epsilon R, relative permittivity of silicon dioxide, is given as 4. So this is from this equation we are writing. Okay, so 12 into 0.8 by 4, 4 into 3, 8.8 into 3 is nothing but 2.4 volts per micrometer. So this is the oxide electric field, that is peak electric field in the oxide region is 2.4 volts per micrometer. Okay, this is the answer for the given question. Thank you.